India is a founding member of UNESCO and has been a very important partner of this organization, which focuses on education, science, culture and information. I can tell you that we have many priorities. We are quite ambitious, and we want to leave a deeper footprint at UNESCO. I can tell you very quickly that in the first 3-4 months itself of this year, we have some very exciting projects coming up. One of the most exciting projects is the International Conference on the Zero that we will be hosting at UNESCO in the last week of March 2016, where the world will get to know about India's contribution to the world of mathematics and science, about the work of the great mathematician and scientist Aryabhat, who is credited with many great things, including perhaps, and I will use the word in inverted commas, the invention of the zero, the decimal system, trigonometry, etc., etc. So the focus of this International Conference on the Zero will be India's contribution to the world of mathematics and science. The government of India will gift a bust of Aryabhat, which will be placed in the prestigious location, the indoors of UNESCO, as our tribute to the world of mathematics and science. We hope to get a very good Indian mathematician who will give a peep into the world of mathematics and who will join the ancient Aryabhat with the modern, and we hope that we can get a couple of other field medalists in mathematics who can speak on this occasion. The Director General UNESCO is going to be a part of the event, and we are greatly excited, if I may say so, that we will present Indian heritage through India's contribution to mathematics and science here at UNESCO, which is the house of education, which is the house of heritage, which is the house of culture. Even as the world gets more interconnected today and the world shrinks, we are living in a compacting world. Education cannot just be textbooks and classrooms. That is very important, of course, but it's also very important to inculcate into young minds the values of pluralism, diversity, tolerance, acceptance, to fight back the forces of sectarianism, of which we are all aware. And I think global citizenship education, which is now getting more and more into the lexicon of education, I think is a new concept which I hope will be here to stay. And UNESCO is playing a leadership role here, in that there have been various conferences, and there have also been various workshops on this particular issue. And also in UNESCO last year, towards the latter end, we had a very good discussion on pluralism and diversity, fighting back the forces of violent extremism. So this offers a very good via media for that also. From UNESCO multilateral point of view, I think it's an excellent initiative taken by all of us, and I think there are no two ways about it. We need more of this kind of thing. Education which goes beyond the classroom and which also teaches you to be a global citizen. As far as Chandigarh is concerned, I'm very pleased to tell you that we are cooperating and collaborating with the government of France on the works of Le Corbusier, the famous French architect who has designed the capital complex of Chandigarh. And even as we speak, next week, we are in the process of further consultations. And we very much hope that jointly, there are 8 countries who are presenting this dossier, which is titled The Artistic Works of Le Corbusier. We very much hope that we will all get collective success in the forthcoming meeting of the World Heritage Committee, which is to be held in Istanbul in June, July this year. In fact, when we talk about the development of smart cities, we always keep both aspects in mind. That on the one hand, you urbanize and you modernize, which is very important, but at the same time, you must absolutely conserve the heritage character of a particular city. So I have absolutely no doubt that in the case of Chandigarh also, which is anyway a smart city, a beautiful city. I wonder if you visited the city. But Chandigarh and now the works of Le Corbusier, which will get hopefully a UNESCO recognition, I think the two should work very well hand in hand together. And we are one of the countries that have got the maximum recognition through UNESCO. We have 32 sites recognized by UNESCO as World Heritage Sites. And as far as collaboration with France is concerned, I have always been a very strong votary. This is such a beautiful country, and they manage and conserve their monuments so very beautifully. There is so much that we can learn from them, and that is in fact one of the, if I may say so, jobs that I do. UNESCO has a very interesting program on oceanography. It's got an intergovernmental body called the International Oceanographic Commission. Now, the good news is that last year, India was elected to the Executive Council for the second time, and it was done under my stewardship. So, we are very pleased with that. But we are not sitting on our laurels. We offer two very exciting and interesting programs under this. The first is we have an operational oceanography training center, capacity building and training center, which is located in Hyderabad, where we offer training modules, capacity building modules on tsunami warning, emergency response, and I'm told that it's doing very, very well. Again, we have coordinated, and we have the project office of the second International Indian Ocean Expedition in Hyderabad again, and we've played a very active role through our membership of the Executive Council, and will continue to do that. So this arm of UNESCO on operational oceanography is an arm where India is again, and I'm sorry if I'm sounding repetitive, very, very active and playing a role that has been acknowledged by everybody in an international setting here at UNESCO. We are quite mindful of that. What is ours, but that's a very good input and another way of looking at it, and we will keep it in mind. Sometimes we talk a lot, but that is necessary to understand the other person's point of view, and also in terms of setting out your own point of view. And very often the person with whom you're dialoguing is also a diplomat, is also representing a particular point of view. So there is at some point a meeting point where you can emerge with a common position. Don't forget that's how you got an agreement at COP21, which is such a tricky issue and such a complex issue. So that's what multilateralism actually is, where countries can find common ground for the great global good. And UNESCO is no exception. That happens all the time, you're right. There are differences, there are entrenched positions, but then for the great global good, as I always say, you can find a meeting point and come to an agreement. You know, one of the outstanding hallmarks of India, as you might know, is that when she speaks in multilateral fora, she also speaks for other countries. Ours is always a principled position, which has always been respected. And therefore, very often, me, myself, I remember at the World Heritage Committee last year, we took up this issue, a very important issue. Let me give you a concrete example when you speak of that particular aspect. The experts who analyze your cultural dossiers, you know, sometimes do not give a chance to all the countries to correct those mistakes, to correct a mistake, and thereby get a chance to be nominated. So we took this up very strongly, and when we took this up, we took it up for the other countries, not just for ourselves, because we are quite, if I may say so, secure. We present very solid dossiers, that the experts should and must ask questions of all countries, big or small, not just the big countries who can make it, but the smaller countries. Give them a chance to come up with a good response, a better response, to rectify errors which should be pointed out. And I'm very happy to tell you that as a result of this Indian initiative, where we spoke for the other countries, today the experts, starting from 2015 last year, now seek additional information on each and every nomination dossier, have a dialogue with that particular country, either through Skype, because technology has advanced today, as we all know, or in person, and thereby that country has a chance to answer questions, to correct the mistakes, and get a chance to inscribe their sites, because inscription is a very big thing. It's also about tourism. It's also about the economy, therefore. So I think that is a very concrete example of how India can take up a cause, not just for itself, speaking for itself, but also for the other countries, a cause that is just right and benefits everybody.